Hello, hello. Oh, it's sunny. It's a sunny day today. So, I welcome. This is Wisdom Wednesday. I'm just having a shimmy about. Just trying to get my camera into place, actually. So, and a couple of my other videos are. This is going posting on YouTube. I put that I would be here at 9:30, and it is now 11:30. So as I haven't got many live following at the people are using this in their own time. I'm not going to put a time. If there comes a time where it's needed at a specific time for a large group, then it's not a problem. But I'm sniffling away. I should have blown my nose before I come on here. It's a bit chilly. I didn't put the heating on. So yeah, this is still Wisdom Wednesday. I'll just pop on here, and obviously this is all posted on my social media. And let's have a look. So it's the 1st of December today. We have of 21. So we have the issues of the mask, which I put lots of posting on yesterday on my Instagram, just about how to say that you're exempt. In my opinion, we're all exempt. Because we all have PTSD. And this is what's coming through from COVID patients, actually. So, but another discussion sort of came up after I did my videos, because so I wanted to talk about this sort of anger side of it, because I was very angry, in a good way angry, actually. I get very angry because I'm aware of who is the puppeteer through this, but I don't want to instill the agreement to be angry when we're out and about with other people, like the shopkeepers and people. But the shopkeepers, I know they are asked to ask us if we want to wear if we where our mask is. So they are just doing their job, and if they don't ask, they can actually get the sack. So there's a lot of things being posted about legislations and mandatory, and what do they say now? It's not mandatory, but it's compulsory, and all these different legalities of wording to get away with that. Because still, if you get involved in a conversation with someone and you say no, I don't want to, it's not the law, and you can still really get pulled into the matrix of this argument discussion, especially if you get someone who has had to ask 20 people that day and they've all said no or something, and he's stressed and worried, his own situation of losing a job, and he's got his own kids, and we're all in our own little bubble of stresses. So saying exempt is just a very, very easy way. If you say exempt and just walk on by, they don't continue to ask you, and they don't have to ask you. That's it. They have to ask. It's that they are told from their boss and their boss and their boss to ask everyone coming in the shop to ask about a mask, and you say exempt and just walk straight on by. Then it causes no problem to yourself and no problem to them, and then there's no friction of low frequency in this conversation. Yes, you can get into the paperwork and the communications of what's laws and things, but it's really wasted on a shopkeeper. This because it's not their issue, not because of intelligence, because it's manipulation. That it's the intention is to cause chaos outside shopping. So it's just to avoid from the shopper and the shopkeeper, because it's Christmas and so everyone's going shopping. That is the intention. So and that's the intention from the top puppeteer. It's not even the politicians in each country. It goes higher and higher and higher to a very small handful of people, and then to one. But we won't go into it. But the argument actually has to go right back to whoever is pulling the strings. And remember, the idea of them pulling the strings is that we end up fighting between each other on whatever subject and whatever it may be. Now it's Christmas. I got very upset and in a correct anger mode, because I get very, very upset about what these masks psychologically do to people and children especially. Now I'm here to protect souls, of people. So the inner child of each human is actually being attacked. The spiritual attack is inside each adult. There is an inner child, and children themselves. But the inner child within an adult is actually more fractured and more vulnerable and more delicate than a child in a child body, because it's less fractured, depending on the individual case, obviously, of reasons of being fractured. Obviously, it is very individual. But my point is that I can feel the soul and vulnerability and the fracture when we're in a mask, and what that does to see people in a mask, and what it does to your body, what it does to the inner child, what it does to your higher self, your consciousness when you're in a mask. So I was going to come on and say sorry for getting angry, but I'm not really sorry, but I don't want to instill, and is that that's the right word? I don't want to encourage the anger and the to come out between the shopkeeper and the shopper to do with the mask, because this is the intention of the source of the reasons they're putting it in as also the reason behind the mask, but to bring it into, so it makes it difficult to shop. Okay, so I thought I'd bring that up. What else should we say about Wisdom Wednesday? Yeah. So if I suppose going on to it, if this helps, because I know my intention is, or my calling, my purpose, my message, being guided to me, is about self-love and about forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is, again, if we're talking about these frustrations and angers of the whole situation, where's it coming from? Who's doing it? Why is this all going on about? It is to release and forgive those who are on different opinions as well. And to forgive if you are really on one side. I mean, I'm very on one side of this field. If no vaccine, no toxins, no anything that builds up toxins and stress in the body. So no mask, no vaccine. But so I'm way on one side. But I do treat people with vaccines. They're all welcome, and I don't try and push people who have had it or not, because I understand that on both sides there's fear of death and illness, and because if we didn't have these fears of death and illness, then we wouldn't be taking vaccines anyway. So I understand that people and they also have not had a life that makes them have any distrust in the system, which is, they've obviously had quite a calm, peaceful life, so if they've believed the system, if they've had a life where it hasn't caused any problem, then they're going to trust, aren't they? And at some time along the way, everyone's going to realize that we're in a system that is going to fall apart and break down. So everyone is a divine timing of this truth coming through. So it's to encourage this non-divide. I think this is what I want to talk about today, and it's about bringing peace and forgiveness and understand. So my understanding that these spiritual war on the earth plane right now is not from humanity, and the whole point of it is to break humanity's beautiful light soul. So do not let it come into the family. Any arguments with shopping, Christmas shopping. You've got this really peak time coming up, so this is why these big changes come into play around Christmas. Just to really, rival you up, which and I went rivaled yesterday, in a correct sort of way. But I don't, when I walk around, what I'm saying is I try and bring peace everywhere. I smile, I actually sort of hum and sing in the shops actually, because it gives my vibration. I know that I'll make my vibration very wide, and it also helps the vibration, because there's no light energy around in the atmosphere. People look at me a bit like whatever, I don't care anymore. So sing along to the songs in the shop. It raises frequency. So And if someone asks me, I say, no, sorry, I'm exempt. I say it very calmly, very peacefully, and with a smile on my face. And I smile at children to give them a little bit of support, because not seeing many faces about. So I think that's really important. And eye contact, bringing someone a smile and eye contact is magical, and it really lifts. And this is what we should be doing, raising the spirit at Christmas, and this is what the bigger forces at bay are trying to break our spirit, break our soul, our heart energy. Not to the point of, I mean, they need us to, narcissism and come from this behavior, doesn't it? They actually are afraid to lose us. Okay, so that's where we can have peace and forgiveness in our heart as well. So they didn't create this. They knew what was coming was a true awakening from the earth. Okay, and they know that humans are connected to the earth because that it was built, so we are part of her breathing mechanism, her nature mechanism. This is how it was designed, and hence why we copy the earth pattern, the elements pattern. But the powers that be are not. There's a jealousy over the earth and how the earth was designed, because it's such a beautiful place. So this was trying to be shut down, so the powers that be can still keep the powers, but they're going to lose them. All right. So if we have empathy even towards the dark forces, how high frequency is that? Now, I brought myself to that place, which is still quite tricky, as you see in some of my videos where I get a little bit heated. And the reason I get heated and I say this is enough, because if it really, I say, scares me. It does. I just want to save as many children as possible from abuse, basically. And I just know the more stressed that a family is, that domestic violence and abuse will be on the rise, and it is, and mental health and children wanting to suicide. So this is where I get healthily angry, in this place where we as humans need to stand up and say this has to change. But there's no argument in it. It's just about taking action. I know now you cannot fight and argue and change the system. You can't stand up. I mean, you got they're like a head teacher or the shopkeeper or the high judge or the police officer, or you don't even bother going into discussion with it because it's in the system. And so it's about making a new action. A new world is literally rising. I take care of my own health. No. I take care of my own business. I take care of my own children. I educate my own children. It's about this action. All right. It's about non-complying to the old world, not arguing, not fighting. There is no fight. Okay, so you rise above and you smile and we dance and we bring the spirit back to the earth. Please, we need some spirit energy, don't we? Jeez. Okay, and we smile at children, we play, we dance, we can do all of this stuff. And if we the complying to all these, if we can take care of our health, then the rules are there, that you won't have to get into an argument about the rules, so the dark forces, which in my opinion and knowledge, so not just a belief system, in my knowledge, is to do with the Galactical Federation, all right, and the Arcturian High Council, which is where I've come from, I now know. And this has always been that it's going to be an awakening because of just about time and frequency. Everything is numbers and physics. So we've got 22 and 23, which is the human chromosome DNA. Hence 2020 to 2013. This is the big wake up. So this was always going to happen. And so the other forces who have been able to take over the control of the earth have stepped in to just close us down again, to make it difficult. It's not going to happen, but it's not to fight back. You see, if you fight back, you're then pulled in, right in. I've done this before, where I've been in the system and been pulled in, and I realized do you know what? I just have to stand, rise, literally stand with love, compassion, forgiveness, and to understand that as you raise your light, okay, so you've got the light and dark, which is like this, and when it's fractured, neither is fully fulfilled. Okay, everything is about fulfillment. I mean, even like we've got addictions, manipulation, and abuse. All of these sort of not very nice subjects is all to do with that fracture of the soul and the light and the dark. So if we just heal the soul, the light and the dark can come to a point where this boundary is very strong. So you've got this yin and yang sign, but it's fractured in between. So you keep pushing towards the dark. They going, oh, this is how to get attention. It's like how a child get attention, and really what it just wants love. So you just give more love and time, then the shouting stops. And the darkness is a little bit similar. The darkness needs our love and light, but it needs to be whole. Okay, and so all our goal is to do, my goal as well is to help the soul heal from the earth and individually. And if we can heal the fracture of the soul in these different dimensions of the light, bring it together, then the dark, you can say, yes, dark, you can have my light, abundance of it, and then it can stop filtering through and damaging. So this is how I say, so this is where do not get into the arguments and anything be careful of what you read that's posted on the net, because those forces are quite aware that we are looking into stuff. There's a very big confusion about these white hats and black hats and so be careful, because the only truth that you're ever gonna find is in your heart and in your soul and connected to your higher self. We all have a different higher self and we all have a different purpose. And this is how to find the information from spirit, from source. When you have your Holy Spirit connected with your soul inside your body, then you don't need to read anything. Your subconscious is your knowledge book, and it connects up to source, and you get the right information. Then that's not filtered and it doesn't have an interference of the dark forces and entities and confusion. And you'll understand what I mean when you practice this as well, and it does make it. There's just a knowing. There's no words. There'd be no communication. It's a knowing through the whole body. The way I see the future as well. It's not me just seeing, as well as how I know. I've been told this is how it is. I've experienced to see the future. We've had the earth and the body, and it makes a lot of sense. So our bodies will become see-through as our eye opens more, and we're more aware and prepared to see the dark fully in its true self, because it can be quite scary. If I'd done everything I'd done over the last 10 years in 6 months, I'd be dead, because it would freak you out. So it's to be done slowly, and everyone in different layers. And so when we are able to see into the dark truly, we will all be able to be the word shaman or whatever, spiritually connected, and the whole body frequency will be see-through. So you'll be able to read somebody's soul when they stand next to, you'll be able to communicate through empathy, through telepathy, through clever. All these abilities, psychic abilities, are for everybody once we are through this awakening. And this will stop corruption, this will stop abuse, and we will also stop disease. We'll have disease 12-24 months in this nature cycle, and we will understand how to learn from disease and why we come here to understand frequency of pain. But at the moment we've got such a depth of pain, it's quite tricky to get through. Now, not everyone's going to get through, and those people that pass is because it's too painful for the soul, but they pass and go to a different planet, different realm, and then they'll be able to come back down again once the earth is healed. But so that's another that helps people understand to let people go if they need to die, because it's a very, very tough world down here at the minute, especially with these dark forces. Now, the dark forces pushes you to the light, pushes you to the soul. I can even say that for my abuse now, my child abuse. All right, so you get to a point of understanding this is a robbing of your internal light. So sexual energy and light is healing. So these dark forces that was possession actually of entities come through with these I've gone on to a totally deeper subject, which I didn't want to particularly, but I'm just it because I have to be careful because it is quite a painful subject to talk about if other people are listening. I can talk about mine now because I've had processed it. But what I'm saying is these dark forces need our light, but if we can find our light and shine it and it can come out, then we can live at peace once again, and we can be connected to all these other galaxies. I mean, it's an amazing time coming. I'm quite excited. And sorry, just looking out the window. Yeah, it is a very exciting time, but it's very we've got a lot of cleansing to do, guys, a lot of cleansing to do on the earth. And yeah, that's it. Sometimes I just come to an end of what I want to say. I think that's it for the day. That's my Wisdom Wednesday. So to go away with just these thoughts of how to be kind and compassionate, and just remember it's Christmas, and remember the light and the spirit. Don't let any of this let's try not to let it squash the enjoyment of Christmas, you know. And well, I mean, it's gonna a bit in it. Let's be honest. Let's not bullshit. But it's not to rise in the anger, because I know I'm saying this because I know their intention of what they're doing. You know, when you've got manipulation, don't rise to what their intent. Oh, I know how to piss them off. Do you know what I mean? The intention is they're doing it, so don't fall into the trap of doing what they want you to do, which is to get upset, which is to get pulled into arguments. No, you're in a mask. No. You know, don't wear the mask, but you just have to say, no, I'm exempt. I've got asthma. I've got PTSD or whatever. Just say whatever. I'm exempt. Even if you say exempt, you're not allowed to be asked for what reason. It can be very personal. I mean, say for someone like me, I mean, I'm a rape survivor, victim, whatever word you want to use. Someone pushed me once, and I said, well, I was raped and suffocated from the age of 6 to soon walked away. So, but you don't have to be asked. You're exempt. Thank you very much. You just walk on by. Keep the peace. Let the person do their job so they don't get stressed as well. And remember, everyone that does wear a mask is just afraid of COVID and afraid of dying, and they think they're helping. Okay, so we be compassionate to that as well. And there will be a time where we're all aware of what's going on. All right. And this has to happen in layers for everyone. So in a way, we need the people that are not so much aware. All right. Because if it was all to happen at once, then the earth would die. We couldn't all wake up at the same time. So that's my Wisdom Wednesday. Do email or message if there's any questions. And I can sort of channel some answers as well, maybe, or give my knowledge and experience or opinion or theories. It's different layers of it. But I shall love you and leave you, and speak to you soon. Bye.